Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law. We have a great show for you today. Thank you for joining us. We have Wes Boggs from Think Technologies. Think Technologies is a full-service IT solution for small, mid-sized businesses. And they have a number of different applications that they can provide for your business. I want to welcome you to the show, Wes.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Yeah. So technology is definitely being talked about a lot now. Why don't we go back to your early days and how you got into the business?
So it's funny, my degree is actually in psychology. So like a lot of people in tech, I wasn't necessarily starting things to be in tech, or at least at my age, right? Once you hit 50 years old and you start looking back, you realize like technology wasn't as much of a thing, right? Computers were, in their early days and people were just getting started with it. It was my minor in college. And I thought I was going to follow my mom's footsteps. She was a therapist. And I got into the psychology side of things working in a children's psychiatric facility. And I found out pretty quickly that I couldn't leave it at work, right? I couldn't leave those situations. And I got really down and depressed and realized this is probably not for me. And maybe it was time to use my minor. And my uncle had done a similar business to what we do today in Orlando. And I'd worked for him a couple of summers. And I forged ahead into the technology side of things, and I've been doing it ever since.
So who was your first client?
My very first client was actually the first client I could ever remember going to was a company called Action Labor. They are a client again today as of about a month ago. The person that I dealt with at the time was a junior IT guy. The very first service call, their office was across the street from us in downtown West Palm Beach. And I walked across the street and met Paul there. And we were working on an upgrade from some version of Novell NetWare to a version of Microsoft Windows.
About what year was this?
This was probably in 1995 or 96.
Oh, so the internet was just getting going.
The internet was just getting going. People were still using dial-up. There was, no DSL, no cable, no fiber, nothing like that. And it turns out, recently I had Paul reach out to me again. He's now the CEO of that company, and he's the decision maker. I happen to be a partner in Think Technologies Group now, and we hooked back up, and he's back in my client again. We closed the circle.
Okay, so let's talk about what Think Technology can do for businesses, and do they have to be large, or can you deal with a small company?
So the majority of our clients are in the sweet spot for us is 20 to 50 employees. Mm-hmm. We do smaller. Once you get under 10, because of the way we do things, it tends to be cost prohibitive when you get really small. But once you hit 10 people, we start to make sense. The way we price, especially at the lower end, we end up being, half of the cost of what it would be for you to get a full-time IT person. Mm-hmm. But we don't get sick. We don't take vacations. We pick up the phone when you call us. We can do more than one thing at a time. And we bring years and years of experience to the table, right? And that's really one of the things that we try to be cognizant of is there's a lot of people who can fix your computer, but the special sauce is, are they interested in your business? Can they learn about your business? And can they understand your challenges enough and start applying actual solutions that put money in your pocket, right? Because we are businessmen as well as technology providers, and my partner Adam and I have been fortunate to work in some larger organizations over our careers, we can bring that business understanding and help smaller businesses make efficient decisions that put money to the bottom line and aren't just doing the latest, coolest tech things, right?
Right.
Because the latest, coolest tech thing might not be good for you. It might be fun, but if it doesn't make you money, it probably doesn't make sense.
Well, that's an interesting approach because in reality, every business has a little different need, and it's not one technique fits all, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and that's the beauty of being in the spot that we're at, right, where we can come in and bring that years of business experience and not just the same cookie cutter
So if I come to you, I say, listen, I've got a company that's we got 25 employees, and we're grossing $5 million a year,
Yep.
and we need some help because our systems are kind of antiquated. How would you start working with us?
So the first thing I would do is I'm going to want to learn about your business. I'm going to want to sit with you. I'm going to want to sit with your leadership team. I'm going to want to talk about where are your pain points, right? Where are you losing money? Where do you think you have those gaps? Where do you have, like in any business, when things move from sales and business development to the production team that has to do it and deliver the service, or from the marketing team, or the handoff to finance. Anytime you get that interdepartmental move, there's often friction. There's opportunities for time to be wasted, communication gaps, right? And can we come in and do things that help you fill those things and smooth things out? Can we automate things? Are there, can we reduce the busy work and get your people doing valuable work that is actually productive and not just, having to check the box, right? And that's where the AI starts to get really special.
Yeah, I was going to say, at Meldon Law, we have 2 full-time, very experienced tech people working in the office, and we could probably use 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay, because every time we start jumping into something, we find out, oh, this information's really good, and then we want to figure out our marketing channels. We might have 25 different marketing channels, and we want to measure how each one is working. Do you help businesses with that?
We can absolutely help with those types of things. Figuring out what your real KPIs are, right? What do I really need to measure?
Explain to people what a KPI is.
So it's a key performance indicator, right? So this is going to be the 2 or 3 things you can measure in your business that truly tell you if you're being successful, right?
Right.
That are and they're different for every business. So you can't just walk in and assume that because I've seen a business that's similar to yours that your KPI is going to be the same thing, right? So helping business owners identify what those are, that's the key part of that beginning of the relationship.
Boy, is it hard.
And it's hard,
it's
right?
It's really hard.
Because you got to figure out where to turn the wrenches, right? And that's...
And we have 50 employees and doing maybe 20 different functions, and every single function has a KPI.
Correct.
And every morning I get the daily dash measuring how each person in the firm is doing on their KPIs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how you're supposed to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then and then all of a sudden, you go, oh, we were doing better last week at keeping up with KPIs, and this is falling behind. So at least we have the data to address it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many decisions that you make as a business owner that we make by gut, right? And when we start to expose that data to the business owner and he can make decisions based on that data, it just gets so much better. Like, when do I need to hire something? Like on our service desk, we measure, customer satisfaction. You measure how long does it take us to make that initial contact back when someone opens a service ticket, and how long does it take us to fix it?
Yeah, so for example, in our office, we have case managers, and we want to have a certain number of cases per case manager. And once each one is measured and we see them getting close to the maximum, we want to start looking for the next case manager, because you want to hire slow, fire fast, right?
Yeah.
And so that's an example of how in our business we use technology to track where we're at.
Yeah, and that's what lets us know when it's time to hire the next engineers, right? When we see the time to initial response starts to slip by 5 or 6 minutes, because we understand we're a customer service business first, we're a technology business second, right? I think every business owner eventually gets that, right? It's like it's customer service first, and then what your deliverable actually is. But if you can't do the customer service, it doesn't matter what you're delivering, because you're not going to have happy clients, right?
we always say we deliver the Ritz-Carlton experience, okay? Because we want people, first of all, in our business, right, it's scary. They're in an accident. They don't know what to do. They're hurt. They're injured. All kinds of things are going on. There's a lot of frustration because everything was going good in their life and their life's been disrupted. Customer service and customer relations are number one in our business. And what I hear you saying is it's the same for every business.
Yeah. I mean, empathy is so important regardless of what your business is. If you can't put yourself in the shoes of your client, then you don't understand what they're going through. How can you make good recommendations if you can't put yourself there?
So why don't you tell our audience what are some of the applications that AI is going to help us with as far as any business, regardless of the size?
So probably the biggest thing to think of is that there's this fear around AI that it's going to replace people. And I don't know that that's ever going to happen.
It's going to replace people that don't adapt.
It may replace people that don't adapt, right? But I think of AI as being something that enhances people, that makes them better at their job, that may allow them to exhibit some skills that they aren't necessarily experts at, but they can perform at an expert level because AI helps them do research quickly, helps them make decisions, and helps them do some thinking that they may not understand. I mean, you're literally carrying around in your pocket today with these frontier models a PhD in every domain expertise on the planet, right? Correct. So you've got to figure out how can I use that and how can I apply it to things. So when we're beginning these discovery conversations with clients and we're talking about AI, and a lot of what we're doing is just like, as a business, how do I begin to touch and feel it and understand what it does? Like, my big thing is, don't just go out and buy an AI tool because that's not going to do you any good. Get a notebook, sit down at your desk, and think about what are the 3 things that my team does most, that they spend the most time on, that doesn't generate either revenue or customer goodwill, right? And if we can identify what those 3 things are, let's see if we can automate those things away.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do is, for example, one of our friction points is getting medical records because we want, medical records from 5 years ago from your primary care physician who has one person at the front desk and the doctor, okay, in their office. And you're asking them to go drag out some records from 5 years ago, right? Yeah. And so we're trying to figure out how to use AI in order to identify which records we can get quickly using technology, right? And actually, if we find out that the office is not really set up to get old records, because we need those sometimes to show a baseline, that we'll go out of our way to help them. We might send them some flowers. Say, thank you, Jane, for helping. We really need this record, and things like that. But so the primary use, as far as people working on our team right now, is to figure out what are the things that AI can do for them so that they can do the things that humans are best at.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's a perfect example. I have a friend who has a CPA firm, and during tax season, his staff spend the majority of their time chasing people down for documents, right? I need these 47 things from this client. I've got 43 of them. I need these other 4. By the way, I've got 3,000 clients, right? And I've got to track this across all of them. And traditionally, there's been an incredible amount of human time spent, keeping the checklist, keeping the Excel spreadsheet with all the clients, and I need all these documents, and I'm checking off the box. Or now with AI systems, it can do the nagging for you, right? It knows that, hey, this client, I need these 3 things still. This client, I need these 7 things. One of the other things that AI can do with the new vision models is clients would get 47 things together that you need, and they would send you one email with all of it stacked together. Right. So now, traditionally, someone had to go through that PDF document that they sent in and split it all out. Okay, I've got the 1040 from last year. I've got a bank statement. I've got a brokerage statement. I've got a K1 from their S corp. I've got all these things, and they split it all apart and they check all the boxes. Where today AI can take that one stack of documents and say, that's the 1040, that's the K1, that's the brokerage statement. That's
What
the
do they
statement.
do? Scan it?
They don't scan it traditionally, because the reason that people never used it before is OCR, the old way with a scanner, was awful. Mm-hmm. It would misidentify things, and you spent so much human effort fixing the mistakes of the OCR that it wasn't worth the time. But now, over the last 2 years, they've gotten so efficient with these new vision models that they read the documents. They don't just scan them, so they can actually identify what they are. So now you've got tax preparation professionals that have traditionally spent 70% of their time chasing after their clients and chasing down documents that have an incredible amount of free time. So as a CPA firm, I have an opportunity to, can I do twice as much revenue without having to hire more people? I might be able to, just through simple applications.
Well,
and things like that.
and we've been studying that. I'm in mastermind groups, and the team members that adapt really have job security, right? Because they've developed their skills. They know how to be more efficient. And from the owner's standpoint, if we can keep the folks that have adapted and are being really efficient and spending their time on client service, communicating, doing those things that only humans do well, then we may not need as many employees doing what's really, not the highest and best use of their time.
Right.
Right. It's like you go, hey, you can just use this, and you can do what took you, 8 hours to do. You can do it in 5 minutes or less, right?
Yeah. I'm sure you can relate to this one. Like, I spend a lot of time out on the road, right, and in client meetings, and not at my office and not at my desk, and I get an incredible amount of emails. So, like, I'll go to a conference and I'll come back and I'll have 400 or 500 emails, and I need to go through them. It used to be I stayed up until 11 o'clock at night and then got up at 4 o'clock the next morning, and maybe by the time the sun comes up and it's time to eat breakfast and get ready for work, I might be caught up. Or now with Copilot from Microsoft, I just tell it, hey, can you review my emails from the last day and tell me if there's anything critical or important I need to respond to right away. Mm-hmm. And 30 seconds later, I've got a list of the 6 or 7 things that are actually important that I
got to write this down. Right? Copilot.
Right? Copilot. It, as a business owner or a manager, Copilot licenses, people choke over them a little bit because they're $30 a month. I save that $30 by 9 o'clock every morning in just my time, right?
$30. I think I spend that about every minute on the overhead.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So you start saving the personal time of the people that have a high value to the business, and allow them to go out and interact with clients. I could never be on the road as much as I am today without these tools.
Right. And, we get inundated with data, emails, text, phone calls, What about phone calls? Is there any way they can help with that?
Absolutely, and we're starting to see some of the AI tools get very good at it. There's a company called Sierra that has a product. If you've spoken to Delta Airlines, it's highly likely that you've talked to a Sierra agent. And funny enough, the customer satisfaction, people tend to prefer to talk to Sierra compared to a real human. I was just talking to someone yesterday in the insurance industry that was about to turn on their virtual receptionist for the first time today. Mm-hmm. And I'm super excited to get back and be able to give them a call and see how it went. But the agent has the ability to log into their primary line of business application where they track all their clients' policies. It can, transfer them out to Prudential or their health insurance or their property insurance. It can look up claims for them, all without having to do anything with their internal staff. And it answers the phone right away. It's always happy. It never gets annoyed with you, right? Does
it have emotional intelligence?
So emotional intelligence is one of the things that they're getting better at, right? So you hear there's all kinds of models out there, and some of them are much better at it than others. My favorite model to use is not ChatGPT, it's Claude from a company called Anthropic. And their big thing is that they're ethical and that they understand EQ, right? They understand emotional intelligence. And I use that for the majority of my decision making. I use it as a thought partner a lot. I put it on voice mode and go out for a walk around the block and talk to it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, going through, listening to you. I'm writing notes because it's really important for me to figure out efficient ways. My son, daughter, and myself are partners in the law firm, right? And we want to communicate and stuff like that. And so we just we hired an offshore person, right, to kind of help us, coordinate our lives and everything that we're doing, as well as other things. However, I think eventually AI will have somebody that can probably do it.
We're still in the infancy stage, right? Remember floppy disks?
Sure.
We're in the floppy disk age of AI, right? It's still getting started.
Yeah.
There's so much coming down the pipe, and it's coming really, really fast.
And I want to tell the folks out there, I've been practicing law since 1971. I've seen a lot of changes. Back in the early days of my practice of law, we got really excited because there was something called a mag card, a magnetic card, okay? And it was the first time that we were able to create a document and then replicate it easily. There were Selectric typewriters, right, that did a little bit of that, but the mag card was like a giant leap forward because you could have a 25-page document and it could be recorded on a mag card. And if a client came in, whoever the paralegal or secretary was didn't have to sit there and type the whole document. They could just fill in the names and blanks and make the appropriate changes.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I look at technology as a tool. So if those of you that are listening, are afraid of AI, don't be. Start playing around with it. Okay?
100%.
I mean, I'm an older guy, right? And I'm sitting there with ChatGPT, having a blast with it. And really, I'm amazed at the suggestions. We have a new team member coming on, right? And my daughter and I were sitting around and we started playing around with ChatGPT and giving information because we wanted to know what was the 6-week plan for onboarding this new team member.
I just did the exact same thing.
You're kidding?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's like, you give it information and then you can refine it. Then it spits out one thing and then you look through and you say, oh, well, let's refine it. And then you give it some more information, right? And I started writing down the 6 or 7 key points, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden it gives you this outline and our new team member comes on and I go, here's a 6-week onboarding. Onboarding is basically training in the office.
What do they need to learn? What do they need to know to be an effective team member?
Yeah. And this is week 1 and this is week 2 and this is week 3. And we're going to make sure that we do those things so that you get up to speed and deliver great customer service as soon as possible. Right?
Yeah, and scheduling and planning it's one of its superpowers, especially ChatGPT. That's something that it's really fantastic at. And it's funny, I've got some custom GPTs that take on different roles. Mm-hmm. So my new person is in the marketing team. So I used my marketing specialized GPT to come up with the plan for the first 30 days. And it came up with this great plan, right? And then I have another one that's a human resources expert. And I gave it to the human resources expert, and they're like, this is only 30 days. You've given them like 10 months worth of things that you're trying to cram into 30 days. They don't have time to take lunch and all these other things. So once I worked through both of them, it's like, okay, I need to pare it down. It's too much information. So then we went through. It's that process of iteration that you're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. What you get the first time out of AI is not always the right answer, and it's not always great. But when you go through that iterative process, it gets better and better. When you learn how to talk to it, just like anyone, it's a relationship.
What I learned recently was you can ask ChatGPT or any of the AI, platforms how to phrase the question better.
Yes,
right? It's like,
right. Use AI to help you use AI, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
because
100%.
it understands how to phrase it, how to form the. And what I would encourage our listeners to do is download ChatGPT. I don't know if they have a free trial period, but they probably do 30 days or a week or
There's
whatever.
actually a free version that's free forever. They limit the number of times you can use it per day, but it's still enough for most people.
Yeah, and just start playing around with it, okay? Ask him, my dog's acting weird. What am I going to do? It takes care of everything. It gives you amazing, basically, it's like an Encyclopedia Britannica of all the information in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a matter of seconds, I mean, sometimes 5 or 10 seconds, right? It can spit out like 2 or 3 or 4 pages of detailed information, and it will amaze you at how to do it. Now, getting back to what your business is all about, Wes. If I have a company I want to grow, we're talking about these different tools and what you can do. You can come in and help the small business person figure out what their needs are, what they can afford, and help them grow their business by being more human in many ways, by delivering better customer service and delegating those things that can be automated or not customer facing to technology.
100%. Yeah.
And that's the secret sauce.
That is the secret sauce, right? Because traditionally in our business, people would come in and be like, to start with us, I need you to do these things. You got to replace your server. You got to replace your firewall. I don't like those switches. It's not the brand I use. You got to replace those. We threw all that out the window, right? We're going to come up with a plan that makes sense for lifecycle management, right? I don't want you using a 7-year-old server or an 8-year-old server that's going to break, not be under warranty. You call Dell and they tell you, hey, we can come out and maybe we can fix it next week, right? That doesn't work, right? So we're going to identify those, but we're going to approach it as like risk management. As a business owner, you get to make some decisions. There might be some things that's too much risk for us, but we'll negotiate on those and figure out what those things are. And then we're going to figure out where's the best place to spend our money to get the biggest return on our investment. We don't want you spending dollars that don't make you dollars. That doesn't make any sense.
So how do the folks get a hold of you at Think Technologies?
So probably the easiest way is our website, think-team.com.
Think what?
Think-team.com.
Think-team.com.
Yep. Or you can give us a buzz.
Phone is?
352-789-6043.
Okay. So we've been talking with Wes Boggs, one of the owners of Think Technologies. And I want to thank you very much because at Meldon Law, we're on the same track as you are, right? We're trying to figure out how not to fall behind.
Right.
And that will happen, listeners. If you don't adapt, we have a saying now: either adapt or die.
Yeah. I mean, the last time we saw something like AI was
the computers.
The computer, the automobile, electricity. Right? It's going to have that kind of impact.
Yeah, and the thing is, it really will help simplify your life in many ways. It's not going to make things more complicated. It's going to, in 5 minutes, you can get really valuable information. I think I went on it to I wanted to make a cocktail. I said, I want to make a gin basil smash. What's the best way to do it? And what gin should I use? And
it goes to town.
I mean, you can do it for anything,
It's funny. One of the things that I use to get people over the hump a lot is like, ask it to make you a meal plan, right? If that's something, like a lot of times you get, we live in a 2-income household where both parents are working, right? So plan out a meal plan. It'll make you a shopping list. It'll give you the recipes, right? That's a great first little, put your toe in the pool kind of thing and see what the water feels like.
Yeah.
My partner used it to plan the most optimum route through the Disney parks. Right, he took his kids down there and he uploaded the PDFs of the parks. Hey, we've got the Disney Pass, and here's what we want to do. Where should we go first? Which rides first? And it gave him a plan. He's like, we would have never been able to be as efficient moving through Disney.
Yeah, and if
Little
there's
things
one
like that,
thing
right?
you don't want to do is stand in the line for 45
When it's
minutes
100 degrees out.
for a 60-second ride, right? It's like, you get on this ride and boom, it's done in 60 seconds. You got to wait for an hour. Doesn't sound like something I want to do.
Yeah. You get that moment that the light comes on, right, and you get it, and you realize what the impact is going to be. And it's going to keep up. It might keep you up at night a little bit, right? When you realize what's coming.
Yeah, well, like I said, we hired, really smart people in-house to keep up with it. But however, we have lots of vendors like yourself that we work with to make sure that we keep up to date with what is the latest and greatest and things that are going on. And I'll tell you, in the legal industry, I just came from a 2-day conference, and all we did was spend 2 days understanding how AI can help us grow our business.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about. And it's exciting to have you on the show, Wes. I think it's great that, you help medium and small businesses grow. Yeah. Folks, please do yourself a favor. Give Think Technologies a call. What's the website again?
It is think-team.com.
Think-team.
Yep.
I'm going to write that down. Think-team.
Yep.
.com. Okay? And you can give Wes Boggs a call, and he'll help you out with no obligation. He'll be glad to talk with you.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's, we're in the customer service business.
100%.
Give us a call, and I promise you, Wes will help you whether you hire him or not. He will give you the skinny on what works for your size business, where you need to be in order to keep yourself from becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
And that, be one of those folks that's on the cutting edge. I've always tried to do that in my law firm. Invest money in technology. Like I said, going back to the 1970s, I thought I was really hot shit when I got my first mag card. We, everybody in the office is going, and it was a big clunky machine, right? And you had to have an individual card with something written on and what the document was and stuff. So this is just mag card, not 2.0 or 5.0 or 10. This is mag card like 1527 or something. That's how many iterations. And the speed at which things are moving on, you need professionals to consult with to tell you what to do.
It moves so fast, and there's so much.
Yeah. So anyhow, Wes, I want you to stay around for another couple minutes. I'm going to do a little segment here on what's going on in the community.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. We're going to take a very short break for a few of our Meldon Law funny commercials. So let's watch them, and I'll be back in just a minute with what's going on in the community.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there, and I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free. And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again.
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey! Somebody else hit us here.
Here we go again. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law. If you've been in a serious accident, please give us a call, 352-373-8000, or just go to meldonlaw.com, meldonlaw.com. Couple things going on in the community. July 23rd in Gainesville at the Bo Diddley Plaza from 7 to 9. Blackbird Morning group is playing. Great little rock group. You'll enjoy it. What's really fun is the Bo Diddley Plaza. You can bring your chairs, your picnic, enjoy music under the stars. It's pretty cool. And they do it on Fridays from the spring to the fall when the weather's really comfortable. So check it out, July 23rd, 7 to 9. As a matter of fact, they're doing it every single Friday. So if you're available, go down to the Bo Diddley Plaza, downtown Gainesville, right in the middle. You can't miss it. Next, we got Johnson & Burns Classic Covers. Oh, that's at the Bo Diddley Plaza the following week, July 30th. In Ocala, the World Equestrian Center, up until August 10th, they're doing 100 jumper competitions inside the venues there at World Equestrian Center. So just go to World Equestrian Center website, WEC, W-E-C is what we call it, WEC. And they've got great indoor arenas, dining options, shopping. It's really turning out to be the Disney World for horse people. So, I go there. I love it. The food's great. The riding is world class. You're going to see Olympic caliber riders, hunters, jumpers, and all the different horse events. So let's support them. They're also having the North Central Florida Outdoor Expo at World Equestrian Center on August 16th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's at their indoor marina expo center, too. Best thing to do is just go on World Equestrian Center event calendar, and you'll see what's going on. But it's really fun. Our Town Home and Garden Show, August 23rd through the 24th, right here at Celebration Point, where Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is, right behind us. You can see the head ball coach's helmets. These are all helmets from teams that he either coached or played on. So Spurrier's has an incredible museum. So give it a chance. You'll enjoy it. And I wrote a book called 7 Mistakes That Can Wreck Your Florida Accident Case. It's a consumer guide that tells you what to do and what not to do after you've been in an accident. It's free. You can get it by going on our website, meldonlaw.com. And I put it right at the top of the home page. You'll see a little button there you can just click on and download the book. It's a PDF version. It's very important if you've been in a crash to read it so you understand a little bit about the process and how in some cases you can handle the case on your own. the easiest thing to do is give us a call at 352-373-8000, and we'll walk you through what you need to do, and we'll send you that book plus our book on buying Florida auto insurance. Again, they're consumer guides. They're very easy to work. I call it a consumer guide because I think book scares some people. On one page, we tell you everything we know you need to know, so don't worry about it. And we're here to help you. We get lots of people that call us about matters outside of personal injury because they know we'll get them to a trusted attorney, somebody that can help them. We're a really good resource for any problem that you have where a lawyer may be able to help. And if you can do it yourself, we'll explain to you how to do it and what you need to do. So that's a wrap for our show here. I want to welcome and thank Wes Boggs. I know you're located in the Marion County area, right?
Yep.
And but Wes can help you wherever you are. So
Yeah, we're all over the state of Florida.
All over the state of Florida. He'll come visit you. He loves customer service. He understands it, and that's what you need in order to navigate the new world of technology. Is a trusted source, a vendor, a tech company, somebody that has already done the work. They know how to navigate for small, medium-sized businesses. If you've got up to 50 employees, you're probably an ideal candidate for what Wes Boggs does. Again, think-team.com. think-team.com. That's how you find it out. Yeah. Anyhow, thank you very much, Wes, for joining us. And that's a wrap for Meldon Law and Friends.